Hello, everybody. Ben Bauer here once again with Monumental Moments. And this is a series that I've created where there's information that we receive, and it's kind of like a very impactful information that we receive, and it changes how we view things and view ourselves. And today I want to talk about judgment, and not so much self-judgment, but there's a lot of that goes around these days, but more on judgment of others and other people. We perceive other people judging us. So judgment to me is kind of it's not a very useful emotion or process in my view. The audacity of making somebody else wrong, like we know better. The reality is that no one's in any position to judge me, and I'm in no position to judge anybody else, and I'll explain. So for me to truly judge somebody, I mean really judge somebody, I'd have to live every second of their life, because then I would have the proper context to make a judgment. If I don't live every second of their life, then I'm in no position to judge them. Conversely, someone to really judge me would have to live every second of my life, and that's impossible. So no one's really in any position to judge me. And we often go through life worrying about what somebody will think or say, and we're also judging somebody else. And when we judge somebody else, the audacity of that energy of like trying to make somebody else wrong. And the irony of that is that if we had that person's exact same DNA and lived their same life, we are then judging the very same decision we would be making. Like to think that they can make any other decision, like the audacity of that. And so that's just, that energy it's not helpful. It's a low frequency of energy. Also, it's really freeing when you realize no one's in any position to judge you at all, period. End of story. That's very freeing, because then you don't have to worry about it, and you don't have to think or organize your life or what you're going to say or do in a way where you think someone's going to judge you. The other component of this is that, which I had this epiphany fairly recently, is if we're worried about what someone's going to think about us, and so we're going to say or do something different because we're afraid of being judged, then that's an inauthentic relationship. We're not being who we truly are. We're being a presented kind of person that we think that person wants so they don't judge us. That's not really who we are. This also creates problems in relationships because we're not being authentic. And it's interesting. This dawned on me a while back. When my grandparents would come to town, my mother would always take us to Mass every Sunday when my grandparents were in town. That was the only time we went to Mass. And it dawned on me, my mother only did that because she didn't want my grandparents to judge her. So, you know, the irony of that is that she had an inauthentic relationship with my grandparents. They didn't really know who she was. And so we worry about what other people are thinking or saying. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. And when you fully understand that, it's totally freeing. And you don't worry about it. And it changes your total outlook on things. You don't worry about having to try and say a certain thing or do a certain thing or be a certain way, because it doesn't matter. You can just be your authentic self. And when you're your authentic self, that's when you're most powerful. So I would just encourage you, don't judge other people. Everybody's doing the best they can. Everybody's, I think everybody's working through this experience here on this planet and doing the best they can. And don't worry about what other people think about you. It doesn't matter at all. It just doesn't matter at all. And when you do that, you're going to have way more authentic relationships. You're going to be authentic, and it's going to be a great place to construct the life you want because you're being authentic. You're not putting up some facade, which isn't really who you are, which then leads to stress, anxiety, and depression, and things that we don't need to have in our life. So that's that. I just wanted to kind of go through judgment, and hopefully it was impactful for you as it was for me, and I hope you're having a great day. Take care.